Dealer today enlists the all-new 20.
Oh my God! Everybody pack your shit because we finna go up there to the White House.
Check 1 2 1 2. All right, we're in here. ReWAD. Just get myself right, y'all. Y'all cool. Interesting one that we are starting off with. Just realized my mic is far away from me, so I really gotta like project my whole entire vocal box. USIMAMANE is set to quit music. What it's about, straight from his own TikTok. Check that. Straight from his TikTok light. Okay. I wonder if he was live or whatever. Recorded video. Let's see.
Recently stated his plans to quit making music when he turns. So USIMAMANE has recently stated his plans to quit making music when he turns 25, and this was clarified after a misinterpretation of a social media comment where he replied to the big hash about giving up on music, with USIMAMANE himself referring to his own future retirement plan. At the age of 25, it is a rap, gang.
So I'm here to tell you that I wasn't talking about big hash.
How old is this nigga? Let me see that. I gotta check. Gotta use the voice low joint. I'm saying. How old is USIMAMANE?
Cyril Ramaphosa is 72 years old.
Yo, how old is USIMAMANE?
Sorry, I can't determine Usman's age. Could you share more detail?
I bet. Nah, no problem, man. Never mind.
Got it. What's on your mind?
Nothing, nigga. Leave me alone. How old is this guy, man? Age? Born 2003. So what? That's 22? Right? 22, right? So 25 is reps.
I was talking about myself. I was talking about me. I'll stop at 25. I have decided that I'll stop at 25. And you guys hate me because I said I was going to stop music at 25. Crazy.
Actually, I'm a big fan of USIMAMANE. Actually was. But this industry thing,
So,
dog, your album went platinum. You got Rick Ross on your tape.
and another thing, bro, like, I feel like USIMAMANE, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how people feel about him, he did one of the, he had one of the successful runs. He has manifested the kind of fruit. Wait, let me see what y'all can see. Come on. Okay. I'm on the wrong scene. Okay, cool. Now we good. I think, you know what I'm saying, regardless of how people felt about him, he has manifested the kind of fruits that a whole lot of people who have wanted to be artists, you know what I'm saying, couldn't manage to manifest. I'm saying he had the kind of results that, had been coveted by a whole lot of artists, bro. People had the potential, you know what I'm saying, but couldn't follow through. I don't know, whatever. But how his stars aligned, whether it was his own work ethic or just luck or whatever, connection, this, that, and the third. Like, how his shit aligned, bro, went, you know what I'm saying? It went how a whole lot of people would wish their shit would go. Facts. And so, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, LAWSUITE, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, this industry is not a long term. You know what I'm saying? It's not like for those who seek long term gratification out of, you know what I'm saying, something that they invest in. this music thing, bro, it's like it's really short term. If you manage to, you know what I'm saying, make the most out of it, like within the short window of time that you do get to be on top with this music thing, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, milk that and be as wise as you can with that. You know, for as long as you can, make the most of it, you know what I'm saying, while it lasts type shit, because it's not meant for you to stick around for forever. Because, you know, people try to stick around for a long time, but it ends up, you know, backfiring in like the worst ways sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I can kind of like put a degree of support into the decision that USIMAMANE is making for me.
And honestly, the only banger you had was Check. Kindly Nash
what
and
it is.
H-Chief. Don't bribe me.
Found a way to like go ahead and exist outside of the music thing. I mean, of course, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, of course, you know, music, unless the love was not genuine, you know what I'm saying, the music bug, the effect of that is not gonna leave in it. You know what I'm saying? If the shit really stems from the heart, he's gonna keep dropping, but not according to the expectation of the industry, not according to the expectation of fans. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, niggas is better off like building communities instead of fans. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, bro, do your homework. Like, build a community. You know what I'm saying? Not fans. And playing the fan game is just like the corny thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the one where, because you live for pleasing them people. You know what I mean? You live for, you know, first week sales, things like that. You know, you live for the clout that's supposed to just like really remain with, and relevance that has to remain with, and you know what I'm saying, the aesthetic that needs to be put up with the whole thing, and the mystery of it all at the same time. It's like, yo, since fans are into that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying, but a community, you know, with community, it's more transparent than that. That's when we talking cult following type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Militant, man. Crazy, yeah, but I don't see no Rick Ross on his features.
My take,
Like
he
Sway.
said he wants my take on it. I feel like rappers themselves, they're not real rappers. We deal with rappers that are not real to their core. It's a nigga who's gonna
though.
tell you I'm whipping in a certain what the liars, the ones that tell you that I'm driving,
I'm in a
I got
Wraith,
the
I'm
man,
in a
the man.
Maybach.
You see, right now we're experiencing it, right? 4 years later from here, we're gonna be like asking ourselves, man, what happened? Because niggas are not that real.
So there's a lot of reasons to why I think USIMAMANE might want to leave music at such the early age of 25. Reason number one is industry pressures. We all know the music
That's what I'm saying, the whole industry pressure thing. And I feel like USIMAMANE may be better off just like rebranding and, you know, just going off of dropping content instead of dropping raps. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously putting the songs as part of the content. You feel what I'm saying? But it's about content, not about this corny industry pressure type chat. You know what I'm saying?
industry can be cutthroat, the constant scrutiny, the pressure to produce hits, the fake smiles and fake friends. It's enough to take a toll on anyone's mental health. USIMAMANE has been open about the struggles of fame, and it's clear the industry has taken a piece of him. Reason number two is creative differences. As an artist, USIMAMANE has got a lot to deal with. He's got to deal with his record label, producers, and other collaborators who might not always see eye to eye. The pressure to conform to certain styles.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Fashion sense wise, my boy still got a long way to go, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, keep that stylist close though. I'm saying, go on ahead and apply the distance, you know, towards the industry and blah 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 and all this kind of stuff. But yo, keep your stylist close, my boy.
Or genres can be stifling,
Is this-
and it's possible.
I don't know.
USIMAMANE is feeling like they're,
Nah, but I feel you,
you
my
know,
boy.
his team or maybe him or people around him are losing creative control or whatever, and it's just getting a lot. But this relates to reason number three, the burnout. Since
Burnout.
USIMAMANE came in, he's been releasing music non-stop, and I think he could be running out of certain juices to make music, you know.
So I get
and
writers.
if you
Get
think about it,
ghostwriters for a
touring,
reason.
rehearsing, producing, music, it's a lot to handle. USIMAMANE has been grinding for years, and it's taking a toll on the physical and mental health of things, you know. And if you think about it, if you really don't want to be at a place anymore and you really don't want to do this anymore, then it starts feeling like a job. It starts feeling like work. Or maybe if you put yourself in deals that you didn't understand because you signed them when you were like 19 or something, it really starts feeling like a job. It really starts having a toll on your mental health. And
well, this nigga looks like Scoop Makatin, this guy that's interviewing Usmaman. Shout out Scoop though.
The constant pressure to perform, create, and promote, it can be exhausting, you know what I'm saying? And USIMAMANE has been dealing with that since the beginning of his career.
What's your reaction to people saying you stole Blackie's flow and Nasty C's flow? How does that make you feel?
Well, hey man, I don't know. I feel like
comes with the territory.
When
kind of
okay, I'll just speak about Blackie when he was like me, when he was coming up.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying he sounds like Nasty.
Yeah.
And now it's like he sounds like Blackie, right? So I feel like, shout out to OG Fox. He spoke about if they let me get in my bag.
Is that the Fox that I'm talking about? That I'm thinking about? Fox, oh yeah. This nigga, okay, cool. Wait, what's Fox's involvement in your thing?
He sounds like Blackie, right? So I feel like, shout out to OG Fox. He spoke about if they let me get in my bag, and then they'll get to see that I sound like myself.
Reason number 4, USIMAMANE could be dealing with personal struggles. We all know USIMAMANE has been, you know, through some tough times back at home, from relationship issues to family struggles. Also maybe things that he could be dealing with right now. And it's possible the stress and emotion has a toll on him. You know, these experiences are making...
That stress and emotions clearly having I'm saying a toll on them dreads too, dog. That's why I'm like, yo, keep your stylist close, bro. Might give you some advice that might just apply.
Him reevaluate his priorities in life. Like, is this what I actually want to do? Which relates to my next point of lack of fulfillment. Like how I said, maybe you put into deals and things you don't understand and it starts feeling like a job. You know what I'm saying? And despite the fame, success, USIMAMANE might be feeling unfulfilled. Are they doing music for the love of it, or is it just a job? And if the passion is gone, it just might as well be time to move on. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I feel like is comparison. USIMAMANE has had so many people compared to him. In the age of social media, it's easy to compare ourselves to others. USIMAMANE might be...
that shit must, you know, feel mad annoying, bro. Like the whole comparison thing. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, you know, anyone can have like some sort of control over that kind of thing being projected over them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could dare just ignore the life out of all of that. All of what expresses that, you know what I'm saying? Expresses the comparing you to other, like you can like just silence it out, bro. But I guess that's, yeah, in a sort of kind of easier said than done, right?
Feeling like, you know, maybe he's not measuring up to the people that he's being compared to, or that others are getting more recognition for things that maybe he's doing, or things that he's doing more than these people. You know what I'm saying? And that could really be a lot. But a reason I want us to speak about, which I put alone, is reason number 7, and that's his mental health. Guys, we've had a lot of people pass on with mental health. Jabba, Ricky. It's just too much. You know what I'm saying? And for me, the music industry is not the most supportive when it comes to mental health. Like, we are the worst, right? And USIMAMANE might be, you know, he's struggling to prioritize his well-being and the industry, and he's in a difficult space, you know. And often times, most of the time, we value productivity over how people are actually feeling, or over how a person in a whole. The only thing we care about is productivity.
Look, I'm gonna say something real quick about that productivity chat, productivity idea. After you chop up, gotta chop up brain.
Activity. Are you dropping that album? Are you dropping
say
those
something.
songs? Has he fell off? Is he still doing good? Does he still have money? Is he broke now? And the industry is just toxic when it gets to that. And if you are not a person designed or built for it, it is going to swallow you, right? And reason number 8 could be financial stress. You know what I'm saying? Even with success, financial stress can be a major burden. Taxes, managers, agents, record label, the list goes on. And USIMAMANE might be feeling like, you know, he's not seeing the fruits of his labor, you know, which is really not something to blame. Hence, that's why I said maybe he got into a deal, didn't know what the deal comes with, didn't know what the deal is. And yeah, this happened. But anyway, the most simplest reason is that he just has a change of interests. You know, we grow up, maybe he wanted to study something else. There's a video where he said he wanted to be a lawyer and things like that. So maybe it's nothing deep. He just has different interests. And yeah, I also think the last point that I didn't write down, right? I know it feels like I'm yapping in this video, but anyway, the last point I didn't write down is that I think USIMAMANE might be feeling like he's losing his identity. Because if I listen to USIMAMANE's music, I can hear that he's not a guy who wants to use vernac, eh? He doesn't want to do that, but he has to do that to fit in. And maybe he's feeling like, bruh, I don't want to be an artist who was forced to fit in my whole entire life, because he's really just the artist who fits in, you know? So
yeah,
I don't really know what the reason is. I don't really know where
That's what I
this
picked
stems
up.
from, but in the comments, you guys let me know what you guys think, and let's chop it up.
Cool. Look, man, I just think, okay, this is what I'm picking up. In terms of, I'd say you're right about the whole fitting in thing. That's what he's giving. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what I'm picking up as well, what I'm hearing. But look, man, I feel like, you know, the whole, you know, I want to lay something down about, like, okay, having an interest, that's very crucial. That's very important. And also the thing feeling like a job, right? The whole feeling like a job thing, bro, I feel like comes from, you know, the pressure of being productive. You feel what I'm saying? Firstly, as a human being, and secondly, when we're talking within, you know, materialistically, or just within this 3D space, physical space, like as a man, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the expectation when we're talking the human journey, right? So you're young for a reason. You're young for a reason, right? You're young so that you can make mistakes and try and explore, trial and error, you know what I'm saying, trip and fall, so that you can have the safety net of just the understanding that they're young. So you can do that with the safety net of probably caregivers that still like give you the support on your journey of being young and making the mistakes and this, that, the third, right? So that you can see what you resonate with the most. You know what I'm saying? That's why mistakes are there, so that you know not to repeat those. So that through the process of elimination, you can stick with what actually resonates the most without you fucking up, right? So that by the time that you're a grown man, you become grown, you become the person that you are. USIMAMANE, you know what I mean? You can then like know where to direct the energy of productivity. Because check it out, now once you reach the point where the productivity is what's expected of you, it's the time to be productive, right? 25, 21, but you go ahead and be productive. Now what does that entail, dog? What does that involve? It involves consistency, facts. It involves skill, actually having or knowing something to, you know what I'm saying, something to tap into, something to get involved in terms of you know, producing out of, you know, trying to solve a problem, you know what I'm saying, filling a gap within a certain, you know, market. In this case, we're talking USIMAMANE, you know what I'm saying? What's new that you bring within this industry, within this table of the music, hip-hop music industry in South Africa, right? What role do you play? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like that, those kind of characteristics, those make up a productive man. You know what I'm saying? Productive person. You know, I'm saying? So that may feel like a job, believe it or not. Because look at what people that have jobs do. They wake up and do the same thing. You have to be able to tap into a space where you doing the same thing. The reality is it's gonna feel like a job. That's it. That's all. But like, that's why it's important for you to have come to the decision to do that off of resonating with it naturally, dog. So that you doing the same thing every day becomes second nature. You feel me? So that your attachment or detachment to what you're doing is not directed to like the fact that you gotta do it every day, or the fact that you gotta like keep innovating, just keep going at it. You know what I'm saying? Now, another thing I wanted to point when I'm talking about out is the fact that this whole being signed thing, like the whole being signed and, you know, having a whole organization take care of shit like the recording you. You know what I mean? Business side of things, PR side of things, right? Performing, gathering up your funds for you, royalties, this, that, and the third, like styling you up. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, having a whole entity do stuff for you, it spoils your character, dog. You end up not knowing what to get into, not knowing, you know what I'm saying, not knowing what to sharpen. And that is productivity. You having, you know, or acquiring a skill that you can like sharpen and work at every day on some job vibe, right? It's not a job, nigga. It's just like a routine that you like build around a skill that you have, so that you can, you know what I'm saying, capitalize off that shit and just like make money, survive, live. That's how people live these days. That's it. That's all. Now what a record label or an organization just like handling a whole bunch of stuff for you in order for them to eat off of you, right? Profit off of you. Whereas you can do that shit yourself, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you end up not being able to handle anything, aka build a certain skill so that you yourself can be able to handle something, so that your fulfillment comes in the fact that you're productive, not in the fact that, oh, I gotta do this thing every time. You know what I'm saying? Gain the skill. Do artists like USIMAMANE, like, do these kind of artists get given that opportunity? No, because everything is handled for you. That's like the mistake. I mean, that's like, you know what I'm saying, that's the double-edged sword of just being signed and, you know, gaining your success off of some, you know, organization running shit for you. Is that now, you know what I'm saying, now you know what I mean, you realize this is not how I want to move, but you don't even got the skill to just like, you know, veer off and do whatever within the same industry, but just like move your own way, because, you know, the skill is not there. Say now you can always start somewhere, but then obviously that start is going to be from the ground up, and then there's also that image, you know what I mean, because the label done already built for you an image where it's like you got to stay afloat, you got to stay soaring, you know, you got to stay above. You're not gonna stay above because you gotta start from scratch, because you ain't even had a skill that could like keep you afloat, right? And that does take a whole lot of effort for you to just like understand and know, have the competency to cover like a whole bunch of shit that a record label could cover for you. I get that part, but like, you know what I'm saying, it takes away that edge. So, you know, good luck to USIMAMANE. And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully he finds what he resonates with enough for him to understand that even though it does feel like a job, it's supposed to, but we gotta be productive about shit. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, minus the Vinek from the thing, dog. Like, it's not a big deal, bro. As long as like where you're gonna arrive at, a point at which you're gonna arrive at, you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna enable you to just like produce at a high frequency, at a high level. So that, you know what I'm saying, that on its own becomes an opportunity to capitalize. You know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily have to be that, because that shit is just second nature. You can do it just out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it.
Imagine writing hit songs that take over the charts, fill stadiums, and make millions of friends, but we are still struggling financially.
Bad decisions
didn't
destroyed these
appreciate
SA artists. Let's do it.
1.5.
Was it really 1.5 or you are making like 1.5 thousand?
1,500.
Today, we are diving into shocking stories of famous artists who created million-rand hits, yet still find themselves financially struggling. Starting with Busu Katekara repossessed after missing payments.
Oh shit,
There was a
Boosie.
time
Damn, Boosie. I had one of the hardest crushes on this lady right here, bro. God damn. And I know, like, well, I know people don't talk about crushes in 2025. That shit, like, been busted as a myth. Like, that crushes don't exist, that energy doesn't exist. So, you know, it's gonna be my first and my last time just like mentioning something like this. But God, Boosie.
time when Busu was one of South Africa's most loved singers.
Aye.
Her voice carried emotion, strength, and power. Hits like Easy to Love and Superman made her a household name. But behind the fame and glamour, her life was quietly falling apart. As her career slowed down, Busu's financial troubles began to grow. She had lived a comfortable life during her peak years while buying property and cars, believing her success would last. But when bookings became fewer and royalties came late, she started falling behind on payments. One of her biggest blows came when Nedbank repossessed her car, a 2016 VW, after she missed several installments. The car was sold at auction, but the money wasn't enough to clear her full debt, leaving her still owing hundreds of thousands of rands. Worse still, her home in Rutherford is now at risk of repossession after she reportedly fell behind on her bond payments. The dread of losing her house added to her stress and marked how deeply her financial situation had worsened. At the same time, Busu was struggling emotionally. Marriage, motherhood, and money problems took a heavy toll on her. She tried to stay strong for her family, but the pressure was too much.
Thing is, bro, how do people know all this stuff, bro? This nigga mentioned marriage, household, like, bro, these is personal things that, you know what I'm saying? How do people even have access to this? I guess, you know what I'm saying, through public documentation that, you know what I mean, like shit like things, source information and text things. Can you even search that up? Like, I don't, you see, like, that's the problem of just like, bro, the age of just being famous and just, right? The parasocialism is crazy, you know, just being one of the people that was just involved in celebrity culture and one of the idols, you know what I'm saying, that were celebrating some celebrity vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all this information is out here. Now people like us are out here making content, breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make a buck out of it. It's like, it's crazy. Yo, yeah.
Because I want to believe that mentally right now I'm okay, because what I've been through, especially last year, if I wasn't dealing with myself and my mind, I would have completely lost it.
The woman who once sang about love and hope was now fighting to hold her life together. Her story mirrors that of many artists. Fame that fades too quickly, money that doesn't last, and friends that vanish when times get hard. Busu chose to step away from the spotlight, focusing on rebuilding her peace and stability. Though she has lost so much, her strength remains. Her fall reminds everyone that fame without financial discipline can vanish overnight, but her courage to start over proves the story isn't over yet. However, Zola 7's story is one of the most heartbreaking. He went from living like a millionaire to struggling to put food on the table. Zola 7's story is one of South Africa's most emotional tales of success and downfall. In the early 2000s, he wasn't just a musician, he was a movement. With hits like Don't Cry, Ghetto Scandalous, and Vembe, Zola became the voice of the township. His music spoke to people's struggles and gave hope to those who felt forgotten. When his TV show Zola 7 aired, he became a...
Yo, and if you think about it, Zola was like, you know what I'm saying, he was the triple threat, dog. I mean, he was in the big three, you know what I'm saying? He was in the music, he was in the acting, and he was in the presenting. This guy was like a media powerhouse.
National hero, helping ordinary South Africans change their lives. For a while, Zola was untouchable. He had fame, money, respect, and influence. But as the years went by, the bright light around him began to fade. Zola was known for his big heart and generosity. He helped countless people, paying school fees, funding funerals, and supporting struggling artists. Unfortunately, his kindness became one.
And that's another question too, bro. Golly, thank you for bringing it up. Investigative eye. Yeah, investigated. Bro, it's the question of karma. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the good karma thing. You know what I mean? This one also, for me, it busts the myth of karma, really, because karma is nothing but just, you know what I'm saying, from my understanding, and do your homework. From my understanding, it's just deeds. It's something that's like, you know, directed at deeds. We're talking about action. You feel what I'm saying? Good or bad effect type of action, right? So, no matter what, no matter how we're trying to dress up, you know, our egos and who we think we are and things like that, things like ups and downs, they happen to each and every individual. You feel what I'm saying? And that comes from things like decisions that we make, which give birth to our deeds, our action. And that's all that karma is. Because now you look at somebody like LAWSUITE, you know what I'm saying? He was like going crazy for people in the hood, going crazy for people who trying to get their dreams up out there. You feel what I'm saying? Remember, even Don't Cry, dog. That was like even, you know, him making, you know, an ordinary civilian's dream come true, dog. Getting her on a song, getting on a song with her. You feel what I'm saying? Her dream of becoming a musician. He had that song with him. It was a hit. It was one of my favorite joints, bro. I remember, like, you know what I'm saying? I remember karaokeing that thing in church, dog. 7 years old. Karaokeing that thing in church with my boy. Saying, shout out my boy George, dog. Man, George, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know. Big Dog Moyo. Feel me? Yeah, we did that thing, nigga, word for word, bro. This nigga was a superstar, bro. Stop playing. So he, you know what I'm saying? He did all these things, bro. Did all this good. Yeah, yo, dog, for his destiny to just like come to this point right now. But then again, bro, you feel what I'm saying? Everything has its ups and downs. He might just like spike up even higher, dog, from this point that he's in. From the perception of the point that he's in. I'm saying he might go higher, but it may not happen in front of, like, you know, public eyes, just like how you know, his earlier peaks happened. You feel what I'm saying? Where now we just see him having dropped from that peak now. You know what I mean? Of which is where now, that's where I wanted to just clarify the whole concept of karma, dog. That, dog, this guy like did everything good, but like his shit turned out like all bad. You know what I'm saying? Quick lesson about karma, kids.
One of the reasons behind his downfall, he gave more than he earned, and very few people gave back. At the same time, donations started pouring in from people who still loved and respected what he had done for the country.
I see I'm trending on Twitter, and plenty of people are offering financial assistance as gratitude. I never expected anything in return for help. I've given people in need, but this is truly humbling.
Zola later admitted that fame had blinded him. He never thought it would fade, and when it did, he was left with nothing but memories. Many of the people he had helped disappeared when he needed them the most. Today, Zola stands as a reminder that fame is temporary, and fortune can vanish overnight. His story is both inspiring and tragic, a lesson about kindness, money, and how quickly the entertainment world can forget its heroes. But Babes Wotumo's story is just as tough. From living in the spotlight to facing death you could barely handle. In the early 2010s, Babes Wotumo emerged as a prominent figure in South Africa's Gqom music scene, with charting top hits and a vibrant
and the fact that Gqom, bro, came through like on some piano wave, dog. It had that piano energy, dog. Like, you couldn't tell these niggas, nah, boy.
His presence, she quickly became a household name. During her peak, Babes Wotumo was reportedly charging up to 120,000 per performance, a statement to her popularity and demand in the industry.
Babes Wotumo efika kwi-industry ube charge 100,000. Ube charge 100,000.
5 shows, that's 10 shows, that's a meal.
However, despite her significant earnings, financial mismanagement began to take its toll. In 2016, Babes Wotumo was reported to owe a Durban-based salon owner Frank a substantial amount for hair weaves she had taken without immediate payment. The debt amounted to 16,000, highlighting early signs of financial struggles. As her career progressed, Babes Wotumo continued to face financial challenges. In 2018, she and her late husband were accused of taking 70,000 for a concert performance that never occurred. The South Coast Bike Fest 2018 was left without its headliner, and the duo's reputation took a hit. The situation became worse after Mampinja's passing in December 2022. Babes was reportedly left to manage their businesses. Sources close to the family disclosed that she inherited a significant debt, with some estimating the amount to be in millions of rands. Her family moved in with her to provide support, helping reduce living costs and assist with bills during this difficult time. Financial strain was compounded by industry disputes. In 2025, Babes publicly accused DJ Tira of exploiting her late husband's name for financial gain without her consent.
Oh snap, I didn't know about this. So she came at Tira. And so the cycle continues. So you know what I'm saying? And so the pattern, so you know what I'm saying, recycles itself once again. It's like the artist goes down under, and all of a sudden, yo, it's the label, the guy that was running my shit. Like, what happened? You know?
Then, tribute concerts held in Mampinja's honor reportedly did not include her or her son, nor did she receive any proceeds.
Oh, that's why Tira was clarifying there that Babes was receiving 100,000 for a show, 100,000.
Criticized the organizers for using her husband's legacy for their own benefit, highlighting the challenges she faced in protecting her family's interest. In 2024, Babes faced public criticism over 1,200 debt owed to her makeup artist Pel Mhlongo. The unpaid bill from a 2021 job resurfaced, adding to her financial woes and tarnishing her public image. Despite these setbacks, Babes Wotumo remains a resilient figure in South African entertainment industry. Her journey serves as a reminder of the complexities and challenges that come with fame and fortune. But Ndabase Tupai didn't even get a chance to enjoy the money that came with his success.
This was it Nkabi Records situation?
When Ndabase Tupai first appeared on the scene, many believe he was destined for greatness. His unique voice, filled with emotion and depth, made him stand out in the South African music industry. His collaboration with Big Zulu on Imali Eningi became a national anthem, a song that dominated charts, airwaves, and social media.
Imali eningi ingoma engayenza mangifika studio ska Big Zulu wayithanda ingoma wangitshela ukuthi asisebenze le ngoma le. I was like, anything ufuna ukuyenza yenza.
Overnight, Ndabase Tupai became a household name, admired for his soulful voice and powerful delivery. But behind the fame and success, things were not as bright as they seemed. Even though the song was one of the biggest hits in South Africa, Daba didn't earn much from it. Many fans assumed he was making millions, but he later revealed that wasn't the case. While Big Zulu's career continued to rise, Daba struggled financially, feeling left out of the rewards that came from their success. After the hype faded, Daba found himself in a difficult position. Gigs slowed down, and without strong financial management or consistent bookings, the money he had saved started to disappear. The pressure of maintaining the image of successful artists while battling financial problems took a heavy toll on him. He also opened up about being underpaid and feeling underappreciated in the industry. In interviews, Daba admitted that fame didn't come with fortune, and that people often misunderstood what it means to be a musician in South Africa.
Hey, bengekho happy mina indlela bekwenza ngakhona because sometimes ubikugena gig iu30 masibuyi report ithi report gig ibu 15 beqede bededuct kuona futhi lo 15 lo how ibone isuthola 6,000 something yabo kodwa muthi uyabheka sisuka ku20 noma ku30 wena kodwa nje isikhathi esiningi mase bedeductile hayi yabo baku20 trust me ngeke uthole imali edlula 11,000.
As time went on, Daba's situation got worse. The music industry, known for being unpredictable, moved on to the next big thing. Without major hits to keep his name alive, he began to fade from the spotlight. Rumors spread that he was struggling to make ends meet. Eventually, Daba decided to return to his hometown, away from the noise of the city and the pressure of fame.
Back. Oh, that's just what you gotta do, bro.
I'll show my effort. Where Baba what?
After that, people never heard from him again. His social media went quiet and he stopped appearing in public. To many fans, it was heartbreaking to see such a talented artist disappear from the scene after showing so much promise. But luckily, he later returned to music and is now working with other well-known artists. But for now, Ndabase Tupai remains one of South Africa's most mysterious stars. But his story is nothing compared to Mlindo the vocalist. He made a hit album and still ended up struggling. After Emakaya dropped in 2018, Mlindo the vocalist became one of the most celebrated newcomers in South African music. His voice was everywhere, on radio, TV, and across social media. Amaplesa turned into an anthem, performing at packed shows where fans sang every lyric word for word. From the outside, it looked like the young star was living every artist's dream. But soon, cracks began to show. Despite the album's massive success, Mlindo wasn't seeing the kind of money people expected him to be earning. Insiders claimed that most of his performance fees and royalties were going through his management, and he had little control over how the money was being used or distributed. At one point, it was reported that he was left with almost nothing, while his music continued to generate income. His relationship with his manager eventually turned sour. There was serious disagreement about money, contracts, and bookings. What made things worse was that Mlindo trusted the people around him when he was still new in the industry, and by the time he realized things were not right, it was already too late. The pressure of fame and financial mismanagement started taking a toll on him personally. There were videos that went viral showing him struggling to perform on stage, appearing intoxicated or emotionally drained. Fans were shocked, not realizing that behind the music, Mlindo was fighting private battles including financial instability. At his lowest point, reports suggested that Mlindo was staying with his family back home to get his life back together. He even admitted in interviews that he had lost focus and made poor financial decisions during his rise to fame. The leads, the bookings, and the spotlight faded faster than anyone expected, leaving him trying to rebuild both his career and his finances from scratch. Today, he's still active in music but doing things differently, working independently and trying to learn from the mistakes that cost him so much. His story is a harsh reminder of how quickly the music industry can turn against you when money and trust are misplaced. But Fiesta Black's story is fun.
As long as, you know what I'm saying, it's a W, as long as, you know what I'm saying, now you taking the steps to learn, bro. Because now that's where we're talking about that skill. You know what I mean? You learn, it has to come with some sort of skill that you can just like use to propel your own self forward. Understand what I'm saying? Make that money, run your cheese up. You know what I'm saying? Steak your chicken. That's all.
Far west, she sang one of the biggest songs in the country and still ended up living in a shack. When Fiesta Black released Shikopu with DJ Kanyani, she became an overnight sensation. The song dominated radios, clubs, and taxis across South Africa, making her voice one of the most recognizable in the country. It looked like a start of a bright future, but behind the fame, her reality was different. Despite the song's huge success, Fiesta Black didn't receive the money she deserved. She later revealed that she was never properly paid for Shikopu. The hit made others rich while she struggled to survive.
I got to a point where I didn't appreciate the 1.5.
Was it really 1.5 or you are making an example?
No, 1.5.
Like 1.5 thousand?
1,500.
Poor management and unfair contracts left her with nothing, even though her voice carried the entire song. As time passed, the calls and bookings stopped. The people who once praised her disappeared, and she found herself alone, broken and forgotten. Depression followed, and life became a daily battle. Years later, South Africans were shocked to learn that Fiesta Black was living in a shack.
I'm not joking. Ne? Yes.
The same woman who brought joy to millions was now facing poverty and hardship. She spoke about how the music industry had failed and how fame without money meant nothing. Fiesta Black's story is heartbreaking, a reminder of how easily the industry can turn its back on the very artists who built it. From the heights of Shikopu to struggling for survival, her fall remains one of the saddest tales in South African music.
And I guess, you know what I'm saying, when we're talking, you know, some of these artists, bro, it is a matter of like bad decision making, but could we really say bad decision making or just ignorance? You understand what I'm saying? People is ignorant. People don't, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, the world operates in a very different way today. You gotta have different kind of knowledge to, you know what I mean, have an edge about you, to run in a self-sufficient way where I don't even feel like the narrative of independence is connected to, you know, just isolation. You know what I mean? Self-isolation and not working with anyone, you know, just, you know, be able to do everything by yourself. Nah, it's not that. It's about like just understanding the game that you're playing, right? So that we can get to a point where we make the decisions that are going to help us win, because we understand what goes on. We understand the details. You understand what I'm saying? So things like investing your time and effort, bro, and like knowing what goes on when we're talking PR, what goes on when we're talking, you know, split sheets. And that's unfortunately, you know, that's the most important part. I'd even argue you gotta dive into like even the creation of the music. Know what goes on into like recording, and be, you know, creating an optimal environment for just like the right delivery in terms of the recording of your product. You know what I'm saying? All the way to just the image, the aesthetic. What are we trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's all of those things that just need to be kept into consideration. But then again, as I said, you let a whole label run shit for you. You're not gonna be able to, well, especially if they don't, you know, allow you to get involved in the running of things so that you can, you know, gain that experience. You're always gonna be an employee, dog. You gotta understand, you've always been an employee if you've been in that kind of position.
I never
pause. Right? Right now, we're about to get into the fact that the kids can't read. I don't know what that's about, but the kids can't read. It's a short conversation about my boy Damon. And I'm only tapped into this because he got the same, well, around the same amount of subscriber count that I got this small channel. And therefore, we might as well dive into it.
Forget. I told one of my homeboys to listen to the Clips album. I never forget. I told one of my homeboys to listen to the Clips album. He played the first song, and he told me, get this rap shit on my ear, but
You don't know what I know. You ain't seen what I saw, no.
Hi, my name's Damon A. Roper, and we're in our third wave of anti-intellectualism, and I'm afraid this one may never stop. Yeah, I'm gonna get right into the shit, man. The kids can't read, y'all. They can't do math. They can't long divide. Like, it's just, niggas can't long divide.
Literally.
In my lifetime, I believe that I have seen 3 waves of anti-intellectualism, and this is what I've noticed in real time throughout my life. The first wave really starts in 2013 with Vine, and the whole appeal of Vine is these quick 6-second videos. Get it in, get it out. Do what you can. Entertain. When I was actively using Vine, it was weird because I can tell this content is making my attention span shorter. Then you get into these creators, you get into King Botch, the Daystorms, the Lele Pawns, the Paul brothers, the Zane and Heath, Dane and Dobrik, the David Dobrik, all these people. And mind you, I'm naming these niggas because I remember these niggas. I followed these people. I was their audience. I was 10, dog. I was their audience. The second wave of anti-intellectualism, I think, comes in 2016, particularly with the SoundCloud era of rap and the aesthetics that came with that 2016 freshman class. I'm well aware that Lil Uzi and Pump and 21 and Yachty and Kodak were not the start of face tattoos. They were not the start of dreads and colored hair and whatever in rap. But we'd be lying if we act like they didn't present it to a new audience and take it to an exaggerated level. They were inspired by Gucci, they were inspired by Lil Wayne, they were inspired by these rappers that came before him, and I think they took their aesthetics and took it up. The downside of that is with that popularity, it's so widespread that you have white kids putting fake face tattoos on them. And then on top of that, once again, this is 3 years after 2013. Vine didn't die till 2017, but even still around this point, a lot of these creators have migrated from Vine over to Instagram. So now they have longer format videos, but they still have their audience. So now they're just dressing up, putting on face tattoos and these dumbass Party City wigs with these big ass fake chains and whatever. When the rappers turn into icons and people that niggas are looking at like, damn, I want to be like Lil Uzi, damn, I want to live like Lil Pump, which is a deplorable sentence. You begin to look at the fast life and idolize these guys and almost and the influence that they give you. Niggas was just doing mad pills in like 2018, bro. And it's frying their brains and it's killing niggas.
They were bringing back the 80s.
But it's like,
okay, the 80s was crack, man.
They're dying.
Depends on where you were at.
And the music was so pointless. Like, I'm at a point now, I'm not gonna lie. The shit was fun when I was 13. I can't do the census shit no more. I miss, like, I hate to sound like an old head, but like, I miss when niggas actually used to rap about things that mattered. When I was 13, someone used to play Mos Def around me. I'm like, turn that shit off. But now I'm like, please play something with some substance, bro. Third wave, I think, begins in 2021, 22, fresh out the pandemic. But I think
third wave,
the main
What's the third wave
defining feature.
Oh, the yeets in them. Me here.
Of this third wave, because we're still in it. AI, streaming culture, and TikTok. And TikTok is like a amplified Vine. Similar concept, similar endless just feed of videos, and it's very easy to fall into either echo chambers of bullshit or just brain rot. You don't even have to like it sometimes. You just gotta watch it long enough, and if you scroll a little bit, they'll put another one on. It's a whole thing, bro. The algorithm is
yes, that's what I was about to add. Like, it's the age of the algorithm right now.
And detailed and delicate to keep you engaged and to keep you on this app for hours and hours on end. And hey, I'm not perfect. I've wasted days on TikTok before. And you have certain creators on TikTok, and it's too many for me to name because
what?
Oh, we'd be all day. But you have these creators who just push out content, and some of it is genuinely funny. Some of it is informative. Some of it is racist. Some of it is Skibbity Toilet and 6'7". Then streaming culture, Twitch might take us to the end of the world, gang. I mean, it's
something
still
else
in
is
its
gonna
infancy.
develop beyond that. It's not gonna be the end of nothing. Same way, SoundCloud era is not the end of nothing. The MySpace era, you know what I mean? It just propelled us into something new. It just, you know what I mean? It provided a gap to be filled for the need for something new. You know?
See.
And that's the cycle that's always going to be perpetual.
Because of that, I don't think we've even seen the biggest that it can be. Twitch launched in like 2012. They're just over 10 years old. You know what I mean?
2012? Never knew that.
I don't know if the mic can pick that up. Now, streaming culture, particularly out of the bigger streamers, has turned into clip wars of who could just get the most viral clip of the day, of the week, of the stream. The most accurate, one of the most accurate references to Kai Cenat that I can think of that I've heard in recent time is Kai Cenat is actually iCarly, because he is. These loud, crazy stunts that he just does in a bedroom.
And he's mad animated, man. I like Kai's animation. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that guy's like ability to keep, his way of keeping an audience engaged. It was refreshing, bro. It was a breath of fresh air when I saw it the first time. I felt like I got engaged to Kai's content in 2021. He was already like way close to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? On his main channel. I got tapped into his vlogs. Yeah, he just had touched 1 million. It was 1 million point something. You know what I'm saying? So he already had the traction, momentum going, the motion going for himself. You know what I'm saying? But I remember when I saw it, it was a breath of fresh air, bro. Like, I really enjoyed, you know what I'm saying, seeing all that. And obviously, just like anything in nature, it's always gonna transform, dog. You feel what I'm saying? He's gonna see the space and the gap to innovate, dog. You feel what I'm saying? As is what happened with the evolution of everything that homie Damon said over here. You know what I'm saying? Everything that he mentioned. You feel what I'm saying? From the age of MySpace to the age of SoundCloud rap to the age of this, that, and the third, to the age of TikTok, to whatever the case. You feel me?
Started as entertainment, but then at one point you notice him drift away.
Yes,
from...
and then that has to happen because it has to be redundant so that something new and another breath of fresh air pull up. You know what I'm saying?
black culture and start to do things to entertain his white audience. That was when you notice him start to kind of drift, and then he tried to come back with the Drake and Kendrick beef, and even that was so clearly mishandled. Streaming culture is so fast-paced, and it's just trying to keep up with TikTok. It's literally just the machine that funnels extra shit into TikTok. That's all it is. Then you have these kids who are gonna come up and they're gonna look at Kai Cenat, they're gonna look at Your Age, they're gonna look at FaZe Adapt and whoever, Stable Ronaldo and whatever. And I show Speed and be like, I wanna do that because representation is important.
Quan.
There are absolutely
Shout out
black
these
kids
guys.
out there who see the success of Kai Cenat and think, I could do that too. So I get it. But now you're gonna have these kids who are gonna go on the internet and start doing dumb shit in front of a live audience and then keep doing it because they're going to profit from it. Everybody, it's like a jester. It's minstrelsy. And then
it's a grift.
Everybody's favorite topic, AI.
Oh, let's go.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate.
You don't fuck with
I hate the lack of regulation on it. I hate that it damages Flint's water supply. Fuck Grok, specifically. Fuck Elon Musk.
Whoa.
I think that AI is going to go so far under the Trump administration. It's going to end up integrated into the schools, and these kids are going to be doing less work because now you just have AI assistants for everything. And it's gonna affect how teachers teach. It's gonna affect the way history is taught. Like, everybody be smiling up and laughing about AI, and like sometimes I'll be honest with you, sometimes it's fire, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's you know, but those positives do not outweigh the damages to me. AI is the reason it is 90 degrees in Houston in October, my nigga.
What you mean?
We gotta like have a serious conversation about that, because obviously AI has been around for God knows how long, but the advancements that's being made in it so rapidly. AI from this year and AI from last year are night and day, dog. And I want it to be regulated, but I don't trust the government. I don't trust the government with AI. You know, people used to ask me like a year ago, and even still to this day, like, hey, would you homeschool your kids? Because of AI and Twitch, I might. Fuck.
Might just, man.
So this all started with Kendrick Lamar.
Might just, buddy. Okay. Brando SA talking about Drake lawsuit has international effects. What is niggas talking about? Get it.
So this all started with Kendrick Lamar's viral diss track Not Like Us when it dropped during one of the most public rap beefs in modern history. The track accused Drake of serious things, including insinuations of and suggested he was a predator. Drake says those allegations weren't just lyrical shots, they were damaging, defamatory, and dangerous. So in early 2025, Drake filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, which is his label and Kendrick Lamar's label, accusing them of defamation and amplifying a track that endangered his reputation, and not just in the US but globally as well. So the court dismissed the case in October 2025, ruling the lyrics were opinion and not factual accusations. But the bigger story here is how this legal battle affects music beyond the borders of the United States.
You can't just
Kendrick just vibing, bro. Not worrying about a damn thing. This whole lawsuit thing. I mean, he knew that it was ridiculous. Everybody knows that this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew this shit was ridiculous, bro. The angle at which it, like, the person from which it came, it's just everything did not make sense.
And back in my day, you couldn't just do shit to the label without fearing the repercussion from the label.
Repercussion. Everything just like had to express its side at the end of the day, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you take your shot, you're talking about drop, talking to Kendrick drops, you get hit, it hurts. You try to go to the label, you know what I'm saying? They throw out your lawsuit, then you come back and you want to attack the label. You antagonize everybody. Then when they hit back, it hurts. It's crazy behavior, bro.
So when you think that he could do all of that to Universal,
So internationally, the music industry walks a very different line
crazy.
when it comes to free speech. In the US, courts protect lyrics under the First Amendment, especially in genres like hip-hop, where the exaggeration is part of the culture. But globally, things aren't that simple. In the UK, Canada, Germany, South Africa, and beyond, laws around defamation, hate speech, and incitement vary a lot. So when Drake's lyrics or Kendrick Lamar's accusations reach global ears, they're not just art anymore. They become potential legal liabilities. In places like China or parts of the Middle East, lyrics like these could get songs banned. In India, artists have been jailed for politically controversial lyrics, and this means labels have to now consider international censorship risks before releasing global content.
Someone on UMG in court, and they're like, well, he said that Drake likes young girls and A minor and certified love boy, certified PDF. And then someone from UMG goes up and, well, can we reference back Tailor-Made Freestyle, where Drake, in the voice of
talk about it,
Tupac said, say that he likes young girls, that's a gift from me.
So Drake's lawsuits pointed fingers at UMG, saying they know.
I guess this guy just like never thought his ways out. He never thought them through. He never thought them through.
Marketed and monetized a track that could harm his image, and this raises an international issue. The question I have is, should be labels held responsible for the content they promote, especially when it is controversial? In the US, courts said no because it was an artistic opinion, but globally, some countries do hold publishers liable for distributing content deemed as defamatory, hateful, or dangerous. And this puts international artists and labels in a very tight spot, especially in the streaming age, where a diss track in California goes viral in Nigeria, France, Japan, or Brazil within minutes.
They gave him $400 million. Okay, Universal gave him $400 million.
For what?
For as an advance on his royalties.
Okay.
Well, he recouped that within the year and a half, something like that. Was already in renegotiations. Then Sony came along, said we'll give you $500 million. And he had leverage, but then Sony or Universal was like, no. And then
was the volume
that's
so
what
low?
This case is about. Okay, did you release Kendrick and sabotage me to get my numbers down so that I didn't have the leverage to get this money? And because I was going to go to Sony, you wanted to ruin it. And I mean, that's what we went through with Mariah. Was they were trying to devalue her brand at the end of the Sony run when we did Heartbreaker, and Tommy was actively out there. You know, the J-Lo thing, the Ja Rule thing, all of that stuff was to devalue her brand before she jumped labels. So it's normal for labels to play this gangster tactic, and now you see why.
While Kendrick's lyrics were legally protected in the US, Drake's lawsuit shows how international artists may feel unsafe in their image, and it can be globally smeared, and there's literally no legal remedy that exists. And it raises the issue, should there be global guidelines for artistic speech and music, or will each region keep playing by its own rules? You know what I'm saying? And another angle this lawsuit touches, the economics of controversy. Drake accused UMG of turning a diss track into a global cash cow, manipulating streams, boosting promotion, and even monetizing through viral challenges, right? So internationally, this is becoming the go-to formula. Diss track, viral moments, streaming explosion, awards, and nominations, right? But what happens when the music promotes false accusations or triggers real-world threats, right? Drake's team alleged home invasions, harassment,
gotta be new laws,
even a shooting outside his Toronto mansion.
That was crazy.
And this was all after the song dropped, right? And the tension between profit and protection is going global. As streaming platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music dominate international markets, music virality comes with cross-border responsibility. And for me, I'm not saying what Kendrick said is wrong about Drake or anything like that. I mean, Drake has been acting like a mob boss for like the past 5 years. He's been acting like a very dangerous guy. And now you want to back off and say, oh, my life is in danger and all of that. I just really want to break down the serious points that this Drake lawsuit is supposed to show us, even here at home, because this is very important for hip-hop in a whole.
Facts.
And here's where we come in as creators, commentators, and influencers. Right?
Where?
We react to this music, we interpret it, we speculate on it, but Drake's lawsuit is a warning shot, because what's said in music commentary can come across as defamation, and especially when it's presented as a fact, you know, because this is what we hearing on the song, we going crazy, and we reacting to it. So people should now start saying, according to the lyrics, or allegedly, you know, separate your opinion from claims of facts, you know, give context when discussing feuds, accusations, and, you know, brand damage. In some countries, even YouTubers have been fined or sued for spreading misinformation based on lyrics or artist drama or whatever, right? So we need to be more smarter, be more accurate, and remember, the courts may protect lyrics, but not your reaction to them. You know, if you cross a line, then you've crossed the line. And to sum this all up, Drake's lawsuits might have failed in US, but it has global ripple effects.
I see.
It sparks debate on artistic freedom, label responsibility, and creator ethics across borders. This conversation now is, can music still be raw, bold, and provocative without turning into a legal or international firestorm? What do you think labels should be more cautious about when promoting controversial music globally? Are diss tracks just entertainment or something more serious in today's world, right? Let me know in the comments, and if you're into music, culture, and creator law, make sure you subscribe and share this with another creative who should hear this. And yeah, it's Brando signing off. Peace.
Brando SA, dog. Dope work. What's the name of this one? Burning.
City to blaze, city to blaze.
I'm saying, hold on. That is a hard one. Yo, treat time, man.
And today we're reacting to Cuffum, the most toxic streamer Kaisenat can't escape. I'm
Yeah. What the fuck they talking about? When they talking about trash talk, the phone round. Trash talking. Out my shit, I'm ass talking. Hacking out, shot my leg. Talk down my leg. Talk down my leg. Hey, down my flex. Generating shit, though. Down the set. Make the shit go boom. You down the set, bitch. In the fire. Talk shit, the shit, the liars. I don't fuck with liars. Fuck Mariah. Scientists, scientists, me, the grind, the diet, the drink, the beat, free, kill it for free, did it for free. Taking more love, yeah, I'm taking on me. No, that's hard. Tell your shit, check it. Dollars when I get bothered when I get bothered when I you hiding your daughter.
And today we're reacting to
man.
Toxic streamer Kaisenak.
Get on my face, that's all. Tryna talk my seat. Get out of my face, nigga. Tryna talk my I ain't gonna lie, Tree Time one of like my favorite type beat artists. Well, producers. Tree Time. Crash out music, where you at this time? Bless him with the scratch out, bless him with the hump. Bless him with the scratch out, bless him with this hump. Bless him with the hump. Get on your knees and suck this. Time, get on your knees and worship. One more time, get on your knees and suck this hump. Kiss the fucking ring. It's hard. Get on time. Get on your fucking baptize you. Bless you. Higher. Even to say that, you say that. If you wanna feed it all, you better just say that. Gonna read it all, put the blade back. Okay, we got Time Machine right here. Time Machine. It's been a minute since I've beats like this. Miss it, Time Machine. Miss it, past and future things. Miss it, present's weak as fuck. Yeah. Treat me, yeah. Yeah. Feel so soft. Yeah. Silky smooth production. Yeah. Who's this? Udo. Kudos to you though. Udo, you know.